Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual on First Post, where we get you the top 50 stories from around the world. I'm Alison Lagrange, coming to you live from Durban, South Africa. Let's begin. In our top stories, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has made fresh remarks about a possible ceasefire in Gaza. He said that Israel will agree to a permanent ceasefire only if the Philadelphia corridor is secured. He said all of Israel's goals will be achieved through its continued control of the corridor. The Philadelphia corridor is a narrow strip of land between Gaza and Egypt. Israel wants to guarantee that the border will not be used as a lifeline for Hamas to smuggle weapons and supplies into Gaza. According to the Palestinian Health Ministry, at least 6 Palestinians were killed in an Israeli attack in the occupied West Bank. Israel bombed a vehicle in the city of Tubas, leading to the deaths. 3 others were also injured. The Israeli army says that it conducted 3 targeted airstrikes on armed terrorists. It said they posed a threat to its soldiers in the area. Israeli citizens continued to protest in central Tel Aviv for the 4th consecutive night. The demonstrators insisted that Netanyahu negotiate a ceasefire agreement. They want him to secure the safe return of the remaining 101 hostages held by Hamas. Israeli people have intensified their protests since the IDF found the bodies of 6 hostages in the Rafah area of Gaza. A person who appeared to be carrying a firearm in Munich was killed by a gun battle with German police. This was near the Israeli consulate in Munich. Now, the incident took place at about 9 a.m. local time today, the 5th of September. It is the 52nd anniversary of the terror attack at the 1972 Munich Olympics. 11 Israeli Olympic team members had died during that attack. So far, it's still unclear whether today's incident was related to the anniversary. The United Nations nuclear watchdog, the International Atomic Energy Agency, has issued a statement. It said that the situation at Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant is very fragile. The remarks came after the IAEA's director, Rafael Grossi, visited the plant in southeast Ukraine yesterday. Grossi and his team inspected the cooling tower of the plant. The tower had caught fire last month. The U.S. has filed money laundering charges against 2 employees of the Russian state media network RT. The 2 have been accused of hiring a Tennessee-based company to produce politically divisive content online ahead of the 2024 U.S. presidential election. According to American officials, the suspects used shell companies and false identities to pay $10 million for the videos. A 14-year-old boy who shot 2 students and 2 teachers at a high school in the U.S. state of Georgia, and the shooting also left 9 people injured. The police arrested the teenage shooting suspect after a confrontation. He allegedly had a semi-automatic rifle with him. Trouble is mounting for Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. His key coalition partner, the left-leaning New Democratic Party, withdrew its support from his government. The Canadian Prime Minister has dismissed calls for early elections. Canada's next federal election is scheduled for October of 2025. A freight train derailed in the northern Mexican city of Ciudad Juarez. The train was carrying sulfuric acid and migrants to the U.S. Now, the accident left at least 10 migrants injured and 1 child is missing. The derailment also caused the acid to spill. And India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi met his Singaporean counterpart Lawrence Wong earlier today. Both countries signed 4 MOUs. They were for partnerships in the fields of digital technology, health, education and semiconductors. Prime Minister Modi is on a 2-day visit to Singapore at Prime Minister Wong's invitation. The Indian Prime Minister received a red carpet welcome at the Singapore Parliament House today. The Indian opposition leader Rahul Gandhi visited Kashmir ahead of the assembly elections there. The Congress party leader promised to return the statehood to Jammu and Kashmir. In August of 2019, the erstwhile state was divided into two union territories following the revocation of the state's special status. Assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir will take place between the 18th of September and the 1st of October, and the results will be announced on the 8th of October. South Korea says that it has once again detected trash-carrying balloons launched by North Korea. Seoul authorities issued alerts saying that the North Korean balloons were spotted in the northern regions of the capital. Citizens were advised to stay indoors and to beware of objects dropping from the sky. In climate news, environmental activist Greta Thunberg has been arrested for holding an anti-Israeli protest in Denmark. 5 other people have also been detained along with her. The protesters were demonstrating against the University of Copenhagen for cooperating with Israeli universities. They have been detained for blocking the entrance to one of the university buildings. And heavy rains have lashed the country of Niger in West Africa. At least 273 people have lost their lives there since June due to the floods. Over 700,000 people have been affected. A historic mosque has also collapsed due to the severe weather conditions. Flash floods have hit the Balearic island of Majorca in Spain. The body of a British hiker has been found. He had been stranded in the Tramontana Mountains due to the floods. Search operations are still underway for a missing British woman. 10 other people have been rescued from the area. Meanwhile, local authorities have issued a high-level warning for strong rain and storms. And heavy rain battered the American city of San Antonio in the state of Texas. Intense downpours led to severe waterlogging. San Antonio has received about 54 centimeters of rain so far this year. That's more than the total rainfall it received in 2023. A massive wildfire has erupted near the Rapid City in the U.S. state of South Dakota. Now, the wildfire threatened to force evacuations for those living nearby. So far, nearly 64 hectares of land have been burnt. An operation is currently underway to contain the wildfire. In Brazil, a wildfire has been raging for 2 days in the capital of Brasilia. At least 20% of the land in the National Forest of Brasilia was burnt. The forest covers over 5,600 hectares. However, the firefighters have now succeeded in containing the wildfire. Meanwhile, 12 wildfires are active across Ecuador. At least 2 wildfires broke out near the country's capital of Quito. They spread smoke all over the area, and local authorities have warned of health risks due to the compromised air quality. Quito residents have been advised to avoid outdoor activities. The U.S. state of California has been sweltering under an extreme heat wave. An excessive heat warning is in effect through Saturday night. Temperatures in the Southern California valleys are expected to cross 45 degrees Celsius. And on to business and tech news. U.S. President Joe Biden is reportedly planning to block the merger between Nippon Steel and U.S. Steel. He is likely to cite national security concerns to block the takeover. The $14.9 billion deal has received all regulatory approvals from outside the United States. However, the U.S. government and politicians have been fiercely opposing the deal. They argue that Nippon Steel's acquisition of U.S. Steel would put many American jobs at risk. European carmaker Stellantis says it has resumed production at its U.S. assembly plants. Earlier, it was reported that the automaker had paused work at certain plants. Production of models like Jeep Wrangler and the Grand Cherokee SUVs was reportedly affected by the pause. Stellantis said that it has now resumed work after making some production adjustments. The cryptocurrency platform of American fintech company Robinhood has settled a case in the United States, state of California. Robinhood will pay $3.9 million to settle a lawsuit accusing it of misleading customers. The lawsuit claimed that the platform blocked users from withdrawing cryptocurrencies they had bought on the app. Users were allegedly forced to sell the assets in order to exit the platform. And Christophe Fouquet, the CEO of Dutch chip equipment supplier ASML, has criticized the U.S. restrictions on exports to China. Recently, the U.S. imposed several restrictions to block the export of advanced chip technology to China. The ASML chief said that the restrictions were economically motivated, adding that it's hard to believe that restrictions are related to national security. Chipmaker Nvidia says it has not received any subpoenas from the U.S. Justice Department. Earlier, it was reported that the agency had sent a list of questions to the chipmaker. The Justice Department is reportedly investigating whether Nvidia violated any competition laws. Nvidia dominates the market for advanced chips used to train artificial intelligence. And Ilya Sutskever, the former co-founder of OpenAI, has raised $1 billion for his new artificial intelligence firm. Sutskever left OpenAI earlier this year and founded a company called Safe Superintelligence. The firm aims to develop safe AI systems that surpass human capabilities. Safe Superintelligence has raised new funding with the help of investors such as Sequoia Capital. And the Australian government has proposed new guidelines to regulate artificial intelligence. The guidelines aim to restrict high-risk AI models. It also calls for human intervention and transparency in AI deployment. Currently, the new guidelines are voluntary and will undergo a month-long public consultation. Meta's oversight board has asked the firm not to automatically remove a pro-Palestinian phrase called "from the river to the sea." The phrase has often been used in pro-Palestinian demonstrations. It refers to the area between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea, encompassing Israel and the Palestinian territories. Now, the board said that the phrase has several meanings, adding that the phrase itself cannot be deemed harmful without context. A U.S. court has partially blocked a Californian law on social media. The law required social media firms to publish their policies against disinformation, harassment, and hate speech. Last year, Elon Musk's social media platform X filed a lawsuit to block the law. The lawsuit claimed that the law violated free speech protections under the U.S. Constitution. And Colombia's President Gustavo Petro has ordered a probe into the purchase of the Israeli spy software Pegasus. Petro said that the previous Colombian government spent $11 million to buy the spyware. He also alleged that the software could have been used to spy on opposition politicians. President Petro has asked the Attorney General's office to investigate the deal. And moving to sports, and as usual, we start with cricket. The former Indian captain Rahul Dravid is set to return to the Indian Premier League team Rajasthan Royals as their head coach. He will start mentoring the franchise from next season. Dravid was also the captain of Rajasthan Royals for 2 IPLs in 2012 and 2013. And New Zealand's Brendan McCullum has been appointed as England's white ball head coach. He is also the team's test coach. The 42-year-old will replace Australia's Matthew Mott in the role. Mott quit after recent men's T20 World Cup. McCullum will begin his dual role with England in January of 2025. And Australia cruised to a 7-wicket win over Scotland in the first T20 International in their ongoing 3-match series. Scotland were batting first and lodged a 154 runs in their 20 overs. Now, George Munsey was their top scorer with 28 runs. Travis Head led Australia's run chase, smashing 80 off just 25 balls. Australia finished at 156 for 3 with 62 balls to spare. In football, for the first time since 2003, both Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo missed the men's Ballon d'Or nominations list. The 30-man list features 6 players from Spain who were the winners of the Euro 2024. This includes 17-year-old Barcelona winger Lamine Yamal and Real Madrid's Dani Carvajal. Now, the other notable nominees are England's Jude Bellingham and France's Kylian Mbappe. And over in the women's category of the Ballon d'Or, England's Lauren James, Lucy Bronze and Lauren Hemp are nominees for 2024. All 3 of them played in the 2023 Women's World Cup final where Spain defeated England. Now, Spain's Aitana Bonmati, the 2023 Ballon d'Or winner, was also named on the list. In tennis, men's world number 1 Jannik Sinner is through to the semi-finals at the US Open. The Italian defeated Russia's Daniil Medvedev in a match that lasted 4 sets. Sinner eventually prevailed 6-2, 1-6, 6-1, 6-4 over the Russian 5th seed, and he will next face British tennis player Jack Draper in the semi-finals. Britain's Jack Draper has also made it to the US Open semi-finals after defeating 10th seed Alex de Minaur of Australia by 6-3, 7-5, 6-2. This has been Draper's breakout season, and he is emerging as a potential contender to lead British tennis after Andy Murray, who retired earlier this year. And over in the US Open women's draw, world number 1 Iga Swiatek suffered a heartbreaking loss in the quarterfinals. The Pole lost to America's Jessica Pegula 2-6, 4-6 in straight sets. The lopsided match lasted less than 90 minutes. In the Paralympics, Virendra Singh claimed India's first ever gold medal in archery. He secured a decisive win over Poland's Lukasz Zizek. Now, the 33-year-old Indian archer won 6-0 in the men's individual recurve open final. India have won 24 medals in the Paralympics so far. And Olympic athlete Rebecca Cheptegei died after being set on fire by a former boyfriend. The 33-year-old Ugandan marathon runner suffered severe burns in the attack. Now, the incident occurred in northwest Kenya after Cheptegei had returned from church. The attack followed a dispute between Cheptegei and her ex-partner over land. Shifting focus to entertainment news now. For Warner Brothers Games, releasing the Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy game is the biggest priority. The game follows the events in Hogwarts years before Potter and his group joined the school. Warner Brothers officials say that this at the launch of Harry Potter Quidditch Champions game. And Disney has decided to push the brakes on its upcoming project titled The Graveyard Book. This comes after assault allegations emerged against the book's author, on which the film is based. The author, Neil Gaiman, has been accused of sexually assaulting 2 women. The story is of a young boy who is raised by ghosts after his family is tragically murdered. And writer Beau DeMayo has accused Marvel and Disney of quote-unquote egregious prejudicial misconduct. Now, he said this happened when he was working for X-Men 97 and Blade Runner. DeMayo revealed the details in a 30-minute video posted by himself online. He called the companies a smear campaign who want to discredit his work. South Korean rapper and singer Mingyu's private images were leaked online. The photographs were taken during a brand shoot and were leaked without his permission. The brand's employee, who is suspected of leaking the images, has been suspended. And the hype around the Oasis band reunion tour is building with every passing day. Due to the staggering public demand, the band has now added 2 more dates for London's Wembley Stadium. Their tour, starting next year in July, will now conclude in September. The band is reuniting after a hiatus of 15 years. And Joaquin Phoenix says that he might never lose weight again for a film. The actor says that he is 49 years old now and it is getting difficult to keep up. Phoenix lost around 22 kilograms for his role in Joker, and he has had to maintain it for the sequel. Joker 2 will release on the 4th of October. And actors Eve Hewson and Murray Bartlett have joined the cast of the project Downforce. In this comedy pilot, Bartlett will play the role of a founder of a racing team, while Hewson will be seen as her daughter. Now, the story follows the life of the racing team's founder, whose estranged daughter gets involved in the family business. According to reports, a Reacher spin-off series is under development at Amazon Prime Video. The story will focus on the character of Frances Niagli, who played the role of Maria Sten. The Reacher debuted in 2022. And Only Murders in the Building has been renewed for a 5th season. According to reports, the upcoming season will have 10 episodes. This comes days after the debut of Season 4 on the 27th of August. Only Murders in the Building debuted in 2021. The Toronto International Film Festival begins today. Celebrities like Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek, Bruce Springsteen are expected to attend. Along with them are other artists like Sydney Sweeney, Selena Gomez and Robbie Williams, who have also been invited. The 11-day event will be attended by approximately 400,000 people. And that's all in this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to First Post.
It's over! He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams.
Hello, you're watching First Sports. I'm Rupa Ramani. Let's get started.